day, that's nice.
Yep.
Why you don't wear your badge?
If you can't take 1 hour out
You
the
need
day,
my badge? No. I see you having your picture.
including
Oh,
our
yes.
12 years.
Okay, so yeah.
It was hard
Why
to
don't we
do,
get high?
but it's not impossible. But
So
it's
do
still-
y'all see the picture with the badge?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
A lot of times when you wear that badge, it's intimidating. 'Cause you think the police coming to get you or something like that. So they don't need no badge. You know what I'm saying?
I say that don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't knock y'all because I got
That
family
didn't
to take care
discourage
of.
Right.
me.
So
I got cousins that's cop.
hi, welcome. Come on in. Sign in sheet somewhere. So the name of the organization that I started is called Meet Me at the Crossroads. And I'm a person that believes in God and faith, so that's where the name came from, meeting people where they're at. You know, because everybody coming to you from a different, you know, area. So wherever you at, that's where we meet you. Whether the stage is right here. It says maintenance, action, preparation, contemplation, and pre-contemplation. How many of you have heard those terms before? So if I was to ask you, who's in action stage? Who would be the person here? Meaning that you're taking the actions that you need to keep your life and get
Right.
everything straight. For maintenance, meaning you've done everything like 12 years. You're in maintenance stage right now, right? But some people may come and they in pre-contemplation. They don't even think they got a problem,
Right.
right? So you gotta.
Contemplation for years.
That's
at certain
right.
Points, knowing that I got a problem, I gotta do something about it, but I just
Everybody starts at that
can't put
point.
it down.
Yes.
It wasn't easy to get to, was it?
To the maintenance stage right here.
It takes work.
Yes, it
It takes a
does.
lot of work. 'Cause
Yep.
It wasn't like I just got clean. I relapsed.
Yeah.
Relapsed about 3-4 times
Say
before.
relapse is part of the process,
Yeah.
even though it's not a requirement.
Man, but you know, you gotta get up.
Yeah.
You know, when you fall down, you gotta get up.
Mhm.
Get right back up.
So if you see around the room, you'll see stuff because people have 3 ways of learning: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. So I make sure that I have something that you can do, something that you can see, and something that you can hear, so that no matter what learning style you have, you'll get something from the workshop. So you were just talking about it's not easy. Change is a process, right? It's not an event.
That's
Right.
right.
I used to keep myself busy.
That's right. Making notes. I can do it after it's been started, but I can't start it.
Really?
Plan yours?
Well, I can't
Yeah.
start it, but I can finish it.
I just went
Yes.
and bought a whole bag full of them. About 20 in there just to keep
So
myself busy.
the name of the workshop for today is self-care versus self-soothing behavior.
Wow.
So what do you think self-care is?
Putting in the work.
Putting in the work, self-care,
Taking care of yourself,
Putting yourself
making sure
first.
you
Yeah,
take
you
care
know,
of your
self-esteem.
bed.
yourself first and making sure that you know, like I always just say, you know, you gotta chase your sobriety like you chase that drug.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah.
It's
And that has to
just
be
that
your top
simple. You
priority.
put that in there, and it's not easy, but it's not impossible.
Mhm.
It's not.
One thing about self-care is long-term solution, where you putting stuff in place that's gonna last. And when you talk about self-soothing, that's that quick thing. Something to make you feel good for the moment,
Yeah.
but it's
the
only short
problem's
term.
Still there.
So when you go and you get high,
Right.
it feels good, it's soothing,
But it wears
but
off.
it's damaging your body, and then when you come down, what you had to face is still right
It's
there,
still there.
right? So we want to go to self-care instead of self-soothing. So, as I was talking about the visuals, right? How many know some people that smoke cigarettes? We'll use that as an example. Some people smoke and they say, if I don't smoke, I'm gonna gain weight, or smoking relaxes me. That's a self-soothing behavior because it's messing with your lungs, it's damaging your body, even though it's doing what you need it to do. It's keeping you calm. But it's not self-care because later on you might develop cancer or emphysema. So this is the differences. That's right, COPD, all these things that come up. So we gotta learn how to do something that's gonna be soothing and long-term and healthy for us, right? So that's what you do when you in your programs. How many of you do 12 steps? Yes, right? And so they teach you that something higher than yourself, right? You gotta whatever you
have
call
a
that,
higher power.
and get connected. You said you had a sponsor, that now you're probably gonna be looking for another sponsor.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
But my thing is, my sponsor kept trying to push me now to be a sponsor.
Okay, go 12
But
years.
I'm taking my time.
Yes.
I still need a sponsor because I guess, because I had the same sponsor for 12 years and she just passed away.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Sorry for your loss.
Yep.
Yeah, but she taught me a lot, and I remember, things she taught me. And believe me, it was a hard road. It was
Yes.
a hard road. I cried, I screamed,
Yes,
I
indeed.
yelled, I lied, I relapsed, and she still was there,
Yeah.
But you gotta put that work in, you really do.
Yeah.
Lucky I've been strong enough.
You see my
When I
baby
say
here?
I don't wanna do something, I don't do it.
When you said when you want to do something,
I said, I've been strong enough when I say I don't wanna do
Okay.
that no more, I don't
so you
do
got
it.
that determination. You said you just have to make your mind up.
See, I just been like that. I've been like that all my life.
But some people, they make their mind up, but their actions just can't follow
Only
through with
reason
it.
I really
You know?
started getting high, it was, I worked on garbage truck over 30-some years. And my knees and my hips went out.
Wow. So you got on painkillers?
Yeah, they started talking about surgery, and I'm like, I ain't never had nobody cut on me a day in my life. Now
Yeah.
I said, you want to cut on me?
Right.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I've never even really been sick.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden, the person talking about cutting on me,
Yeah.
knee transplant, hip. No, I'm
It's a
like,
lot.
That's
lot
where
to
I'm
deal
at
with.
now.
and
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
Yeah.
surgery.
I'm not gonna lie, yo, I'm human. I got scared.
Yeah, that's right. But it's what you do with that fear after that
Yeah.
initial, that's the
That's
part
why I
that
said
gets
when
people.
I almost OD'd in the car, and I started thinking about my wife and kids.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about, I don't want to hurt my kids like that. I don't want to hurt my grandkids like that.
Mhm.
I said, let me straighten this up.
Yeah. So a lot of times when you say things like that, it's really good. But the best is when you say you're doing it just because you love you.
Right.
I can't do this to myself,
Right.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of times you say you want to do it for someone else, and that's when you don't have the commitment as
It's
strong as it
hard.
should be.
It's hard when
You
you
know?
try to include the mom and
Yeah.
the kids.
When I
You know.
first, I used to work out every day.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you said when you make your mind up, so
Oh man.
it's a process.
I'm going to start
Yeah.
back. I just gotta get my,
Yeah. You see
My
this
baby
baby here?
That's not a thermometer, is it?
No. Feel the weight of the baby.
Oh, wow.
Like
Yeah,
a real
right?
baby.
You can pass the
Wow.
baby
It's like a
around.
real baby.
It look just
Oh,
like a
that's
real
a-
baby, right?
does.
Let me
Like,
see.
wants the baby.
Right? Let me see. While they eating.
I ain't got no babies, I ain't about to start now.
Grandbabies.
I ain't even 40 years old with no
You against babies?
You
got your grandbaby?
Second tomorrow.
Who want a
And
little
I'm not
baby?
even a grandmother.
You allergic?
My daughter's 38. I ain't got no grandbabies.
So the reason why, what the baby represents is when we born, we don't have to worry about nothing.
Excuse me.
Yes, yes you are.
I do.
Anytime you need something, you cry, and mommy comes, or daddy comes, right? And they soothe you.
Right.
But as you grow older,
If you got that
I'm in my
luxury.
grandbaby.
you gotta learn how to soothe yourself, right?
Right.
We don't come out learning this, knowing this offhand. It's a learned behavior, how to soothe. So after, and like, I'm gonna backtrack because you said something very important. Sometimes you have grown up in that household where ain't nobody there to soothe you even as a baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So automatically you already learning the wrong ways. You know? And so a lot of times stuff that we going through is because of what we've been through as a kid. Nobody taught us the right way to soothe ourselves. You know? You grew up in a household where this is what everybody did. When they didn't feel it, they took a drink or they smoked. You know, I know people that said that the first time they got high was with their parents. You know, so that's what they taught them. Yeah, just learn. Yes, that's right.
When I
So,
was 11 years old,
Uh-huh.
I ran away from home.
mhm.
Because my stepfather used to beat on my mom like
Wow.
crazy. So I ran away from home when I was 11. I didn't come home until I was 14.
Mhm.
I first shot up when I was 11.
Wow.
I came back home, had a crazy dope habit. My mom put me in rehab, and at that time they didn't have rehab for kids. So I was up there with the 40 and 50 year olds and 30 years old. I got out of there, and I still was shooting till I got 19.
Wow.
18, I contracted the AIDS virus. I am undetectable now.
Beautiful.
14 years undetectable.
That's a
I've
blessing.
been HIV positive since 1985.
Thank God.
And a lot of body I know is dead and
That's
gone
right.
now. But,
Yeah.
you know, I just
You here for
ran.
a
I
reason.
ran because
That's
I
right.
got tired
You
Yeah.
here for a
of seeing
reason.
my mom. I got home, she was either getting beat on, done got beat on, about to get beat on.
Yeah.
It was something that you couldn't talk about.
Yeah.
You wasn't supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
And then being a nerd and being so smart and being teased for that in school, you know. And so one day I got up too, and I went to the window in the classroom, walked over to the window, lifted it up, got on the chair, and jumped out, and someone caught my ankle. And I was so mad. I was so angry, and I'm telling this person, get off, leave me alone,
Right,
no.
right.
But I'm being pulled back into the window, and I'm grateful, very grateful, because now I live right around the corner from the school that I tried to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And then my dad died on my birthday. I got a country song, all I need is a dead
So
dog.
you have a lot of experience.
Yeah, but you
to
know,
help
I
others.
take that mess and I turn it into a message.
That's right. Yeah.
Just to say, look,
You're testing to a
you know,
testimony.
there's always somebody
Yeah.
worse off than us.
Yeah.
We got
That's
to
right.
always remember that when we get down and get angry and get, furious, you gotta just think, that there is always somebody worse off than us.
Yeah.
You got to keep that up front.
So how many of you
And it
feel like
doesn't
you
be
grew up
so
in a
bad.
household where you received the nurturing that you needed? That's a blessing.
I was okay until my brother was
Thing that
born.
me,
And I wasn't the
my
baby.
dad was abusive to my mom, and that's the only thing I couldn't get down with.
Okay. Right.
At 5 years old, I had to watch him break my mother's jaw.
Yeah.
That wasn't cool at
I
all.
remember them bloody days.
That's why, right now, if I see somebody hitting on a woman,
Yeah.
back in the days, I used to beat the crap out of them.
I had
Yeah.
black
You can't
eyes,
do that
broken
nowadays.
arm,
You know,
had a hair
I
burn.
don't like it. I
There's
can't stand to see a
something-
man putting his hands on a woman.
Yeah.
Like, you know you can beat her. Why are you putting your hands on her?
Yeah,
There's
really.
something called ACEs, which is adverse childhood experiences. Y'all heard of that before? Yeah, so this little baby right here, up until 8 years old, everything that happens is gonna affect the rest of their life.
Right.
And we don't realize that sometimes. You say, oh, they just a baby, it doesn't matter what I do in
Yeah,
front of them.
right.
The
Yeah,
process
that's-
is
that's
That's just a
everything.
whole lot more than we
Yeah.
did.
Especially when they're
They
quiet.
process
They
it.
really are listening.
Right.
They're learning maybe whatever their process is.
That's
Like,
right.
It all depends on the way
Yeah.
things are going, how they process things. But
I'm gonna tell you how they process.
listen.
How?
They're sponges.
My kid, my son, he was my first.
Mm-hmm.
I got in trouble. I started killing dude. And my wife told me she was pregnant with my son. I left Mount Vernon, went and took care of my son. Me and my wife raised him in church, everything. He's a deacon in the church now, 35 years old.
Beautiful.
Never been in trouble.
That's a good.
That's a
That's
blessing.
a blessing.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of,
Yeah.
that's why I said I gotta, my kids more than me than anything in the world.
And we all have a crossroads.
Yes.
That point where you need that intervention at the right time. Because we all had opportunities to go the wrong way. It's just whether someone was there to mentor us at the right time, that we trusted, that was there for us and really cared. Because you could give up if no one's there to help you.
That's so true.
It's
I don't
too
know if you
easy
can
to give
think
up.
back and remember what your crossroads was. Like, when did you decide to go off track? Because we don't start that way, right?
That's
Ain't
true.
nobody came out on drugs,
That's right.
right? You
Wasn't
didn't come
born
out
to
drinking
do it.
alcohol. You didn't come out shooting up. Something happened that led you that way. So think
Sometimes
about.
you do come out like that.
I just
True
wanted
that.
to stay numb. I didn't want to
Those
think
Come
about
out
fetal
anything.
alcohol syndrome and,
Oh,
and
God.
And babies that are addicted, there's
That's
always
so
that
cruel.
exception to the rule.
So
That the
sad.
parent
So cruel.
continued to use while the baby was inside them and it
You know,
came out
pain like
addicted
that.
to drugs.
So pitiful.
You know, but hopefully when that happens and they're in the hospital, they put them on detox, even the baby,
Yep.
so that they have a chance, a better chance
True,
at
but
life.
it's just so sad to have an addiction so bad that
Absolutely.
you're on board. You know, you're still using while
Yeah.
you're pregnant. You know, my
That's
kids.
that
The
self-soothing
only time
behavior.
I stopped was when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
But when I had my kids, then I was still using. It got so bad. I called my aunt from North Carolina, told her come get them because I can't be their mother right now.
Yeah.
I gotta get high. That's all I want to do is get high.
I heard someone else say they stopped during their pregnancy.
No, I use it.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I had
And
my daughter in county.
okay.
You
And
remember
how
when
is
I
your daughter now?
She's 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a relationship with her?
Yes.
Beautiful.
My
Remember when I
wasn't
said
for my
I-
mom.
Sorry for a moment.
I stopped doing my pregnancy with my daughter, but my son I was still using, and he was addicted to crack.
Okay.
And my daughter, I stopped using, but she has a mentality like a dolphin.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Isn't that something?
You know
The
what I mean?
opposite.
She's
Yeah.
40 going on 4.
Ain't that something?
Wow.
You know, cause she's got a mentality where she said I left her. Well, I'm a survivor of domestic violence,
Okay.
so I had to leave.
Yeah.
I didn't leave you. I left him.
Right.
You know, and I wouldn't be here if I hadn't left.
Right.
So I used to go back every other month and make sure they had clothes,
Right,
and
right.
food, stuff like that. But she said I left her there to get raped, and I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me?
Wow.
You got raped.
Yeah.
I would have came and got you. And she's like, well, no, I didn't want my parents to go to jail. Why would your parents go to jail for you being raped?
I guess she didn't know.
Because it was her father that did it.
Right, right.
So in her head, she's blocking it out,
Yeah.
and she's still talking about it today.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's those childhood
That
experiences.
she don't want to let she
can't get over
don't
it,
want to
yeah.
admit that it was him.
Right.
So therefore, he just passed away too.
Wow.
She don't want to admit that it's him, so she still got it in the back of her
Right,
head,
it's
like
Affecting her
somebody
life.
raped me, and why'd you leave me there with him?
Family therapy is good though.
And I tell her she
You know?
needs therapy.
She needs
After 30 years, after 30 years, you still talking about
But
it.
she said
surprised
family
what
therapy,
therapy
so
can
not
do
just
to you.
her,
She
but
gotta
being
do
included in that.
In
What
So
she
that y'all
gotta
can
do
work
Right, that's
through
what I'm
that.
trying
Gotta
to do
stop.
now. I'm trying to get her to come with me.
Yeah. Because that
To
sounds like
meetings,
abandonment, anger.
Yeah.
And
All
she,
those
she's
things.
40 years old and she's still talking about
My
it.
son
You gotta
goes through
teach her
that.
too.
My
And then
daughter
I
goes
said-
through
Blaming
that.
everybody else.
I said the wrong thing to her, not thinking.
Yeah.
I said, you ain't the only one that got raped when they was younger. You know what I mean? Stop acting like that. This only happened to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta understand it's other people. It happened to me.
Right.
when I was
Right.
young.
Right.
You know, I
Me
think
too.
I think every family has
This is
a pervert.
vacant, believe it or not.
You know what I'm saying? Uncle or cousin or somebody that
Yes, yes.
done something to them. You know. So I tell her you need a meeting. You need to go and get some help. We need to go together.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where I'm at.
Does she
now,
have
trying-
children also now?
She has a daughter,
Okay.
and her daughter is like, when you look at her, she's like, "Why you looking at me?"
Yeah. Because
How
that's
old
like
is
that
her?
cycle.
You
How
know,
old is
she has
she?
that's the cycle, right?
Cycle.
It's going, you know. I said, people are looking at you because you're pretty,
Okay.
because you're beautiful. That's why people are looking at. They're not looking at you out of hatred or.
There you go.
That's fine.
What she
So
said?
it's going down, cycling.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember when I said that I stopped when I wanted to do
Yes, you
something?
did.
I used to drink.
Uh-huh.
One day, I'll never forget, Will Smith came out with I Am Legend.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
I was drinking. Came all the way down here in the car.
Uh-huh.
Didn't know I was drunk as hell. Got back home,
Yes.
wound up on the bathroom floor, and my wife had to pick me up and put me in the bed. I had to
wow.
drove all the way down here
Mm.
just to get that CD.
Wow. For I Am Legend.
And I
Love
said,
that movie.
you know what? I said, God, look out for babies and fools.
And fools, right.
I said, that day I was a fool.
Yes, yes.
And I haven't touched a drink since.
And that
Wow.
means you still
That's
have
a
purpose,
black
right?
arrow, huh?
You're here for a reason. And that's the part when you start to get your peace and your joy, when you realize what your purpose is. Because God put us all here for a reason. And when you don't understand what that reason is, that's when you go out there searching and trying to try this and that, because you're like, what am I supposed to be doing? Why am I here? But when you get focused and you get that purpose and say, okay, now I know what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Walking in, see here, discovering your divine purpose. That's the key right there. So you realize your purpose is what? Now you want to be a family man, you have your daughter, your grandkids, right? You understand that you want to give back, even though you might become a sponsor, right? You're thinking about it. So what purposes have y'all found? Like, why are you decided to stop using drugs? If I asked you, why did you stop? Right here, why did you stop?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You here? Okay, so it's been a long day.
News, that's all.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Because God keep me
And you
here for
still
a reason,
came, so that's
and I want
good.
to find out what that
Appreciate you
reason
still
is.
coming.
Sober.
You want to share or you good?
Sober.
Yeah, I have a little sister.
Mhm.
She's struggling so much, and she just had a baby, 5 months old, and I just found out that her husband beat her up really bad, and like really bad.
She's in the hospital?
Yeah, and she sent me pictures, and she has an open CPS case. And in the past, I've always had the money and the means before drugs and everything like that to just fly down to Florida, wherever she was, and take care of whatever problem, whatever boyfriend was giving her grief. And right now, I can't really do much to help her, and it's a very helpless feeling. She's my little sister, really. We're
Right.
6 months apart, and we grew up. I looked out for her whole life. So, also my own son is 15. So,
Your own son is 15 also?
yeah. So those pictures are rough to look at.
Yeah. So you gotta process those feelings, right?
I'm working on that right now.
Yeah. And understand that you still gotta stay
Yeah.
clean.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because you can seek out self-soothing behaviors when you get traumatic news. You know?
Yeah.
No matter how long you've been clean, I would say that thought in the back of your mind can always pop up. You know,
Oh, she was
where
still
you
pops
get
up.
where you get complacent or too comfortable, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to go to more meetings. I don't need to call my sponsor. I'm
no.
good. I'm good. And then you
I
feel
tried
like,
that, but
Yeah.
that didn't
and that's
work.
when
You tried it
that
again.
enemy comes, right? And say, okay, you got it. Well, let me throw this at you and see how you respond to it. You know, because it's all about learning those behaviors. So,
No, but I don't go to meetings like that much.
okay,
But I have other means of me not using.
I'm like, whatever
it's
works
what
for
that's
you.
what I was gonna say. It's
Whatever
whatever works for you.
you.
Everybody got to develop their own system
I got
of
certain
what
people
works
I
for them.
can talk to.
Mm-hmm. You got what?
I got other people I just talk
Okay.
to.
So that's good. You have a place where you can vent.
Well, that's what it's
You
all
know?
about, not isolating.
See,
Yeah.
I used to train martial arts, and a lot of us, we used to, as a class, we used to just sit down and talk to one another. So I go to them,
How you doing?
you know, my
Yeah.
discipline's in there, keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
So that's where I go to keep myself grounded.
And we talking a lot about emotions, but let's talk about also the physical part of it. Y'all studied about different things when you're in treatment. They tell you about dopamine and serotonin and all that. So it's not just a feeling; it's internal. It's real. It's real, right? It's biological.
That's right.
That you can. Go ahead.
Well, they don't tell you in rehabs and stuff that actually what
Pain.
the drugs do is they release these serotonin and dopamine endorphins
That's
over
right.
in your brain. That's what
Mhm.
the drug does. It floods your brain with that feeling
Yes.
of and then what they
Warrior.
don't tell you about and explain to you though, which I just want to make a point of service.
Sorry.
I spoke to somebody outside about it who wanted to hear all about it, is that the reason why recovery is so hard the first year is because your brain is getting these things from another source, so it
Yes.
stops naturally producing it.
That's right.
So when you get clean,
Mhm.
you're not, the dopamine and the endorphins, which is a natural feeling of like excitement
Right.
or whatever,
That's
you're not
right.
gonna get,
You're
because
like,
your
"Why not
brain's like,
empty?"
oh, you're
Yeah.
like, well, give it to me because you're used to
That's right. You get
eating it.
dependent.
So your brain has to start reproducing it. So it has to acknowledge it's gone. And
Mhm.
you have to go through all that and try
Yeah.
to stay clean through that period. That's why that first, like they say 5 days you kick it, you're good.
Yeah.
You have like a mental like a deep depression for like 7-8 months before your brain starts naturally allowing you to
Mhm.
feel joy and happiness
That's
from
right.
normal things that you used to.
To getting back into.
So you're like it's very hard to get through that over that hurdle.
Right. right? So natural ways to increase your dopamine. Listening to music.
Love it.
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
That helps.
I love it.
I listen to music.
Getting
24/7.
enough sleep. That's a hard one right there. Because sometimes we got so much stuff, even if we lay down, we're not asleep.
Pain.
Your mind is going on something that you're thinking about. Even though you're laying down, you're trying to go to sleep, but your brain is still
It
going.
won't shut down.
Like right now, I know you're thinking about your sister, you know? And so that's something that you're gonna have to process and let go and let God, right? And trust that everything's gonna be all right, that you did what you needed to do. So even though you are not able to help her right now, you can't allow guilt feelings, because that can happen, you know? I feel so bad why I'm not able to, you know? Yeah, that's right.
Just be there mentally.
Because you don't wanna,
And
you
as long
don't
as you
wanna
can
be an
talk to her.
enabler when you're trying to help, right? That she always knows that you're her safety net, that she'll continue in a certain behavior. Because eventually she's gonna have to realize that she's gonna have to get out of that situation,
True.
right?
Yeah, I had partially blamed myself that she got into it for handling her for so long, letting her live with me rent free her whole life.
Right.
And never really,
Yeah.
and then now she has a baby and she's 33 or whatever, 34, and she's grown. You know, I had a kid when I was 19.
Yeah.
So, like, she saw me go through that,
Yeah,
you know, and now like,
but everybody got their own role, you know?
it doesn't mean just because she's grown that she's not learning still. Like,
Yeah,
like
that's
I
right.
was
We all
19,
still learn.
it doesn't make me
We
more
learn every
experienced
day.
or know better.
Nobody's too
Yeah.
old to learn.
Everybody gotta bring themselves back to square one.
Our age doesn't determine our mental level, you know? You could have some, 50, 60-year-olds and their mindset is 17.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, that's
You say that
So-
the period you're on drugs, your brain basically just stops for that period and you really don't progress mentally.
Yeah, it's stunted.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
stunt your,
So
your brain
whatever
development.
day you
Yes.
start
So if
using,
you're on
that's
use
the day
for
you
10
stop.
years, you're basically back at like 30.
Where you started at. Yep. Natural ways to increase your serotonin. Who does meditation, yoga?
I do.
That's helpful to increase that. How about just spending time out in the sun,
Yeah.
taking a walk?
I love walking.
That's healthy.
I
By the
gotta go
water.
for that purpose, to get me out of the house and, you know,
Mm-hmm.
after
Okay,
I had a
so you
couple
gotta
months
walk the
clean,
dog.
I got a puppy from the shelter to like, you know, get me doing better, healthier things.
Yes, yes.
A reason to have to go out and
That's right.
fucking be.
That's
Yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
What helps the serotonin or the dopamine?
Okay,
Like,
both
without
of them.
medicine?
Without medicine, dopamine, listening to music, which is very calming, moving around like doing exercise, releases that, and getting quality sleep, being able to rest.
And that produces serotonin and dopamine.
Dopamine, yes.
Oh, dopamine.
Yes.
Serotonin.
Serotonin is yoga, taking walks, improving your social interaction with people, like going out and socializing in a positive way though. You know, that's important. No isolation and no going back to old people, places and things.
Yeah.
What if your brain's so gone, like, you come back? You know?
Oh, yes, it will.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you never left. You never left really.
Doing drugs.
Right.
You can get to a level that's functioning.
Like that too.
Yeah, I
Have
believe that
reservations.
you are, because some drugs do damage your brain cells, yes. But there's never a time when there's no hope. You know, when you begin to reverse your lifestyle and to change, yes, you can recover. Absolutely. Right?
Thank you.
And your endorphins, the painkillers, like you were talking about, laughing, being creative. How many of you are creative? You know, like artistic.
Paint.
You like to paint? What do
I
you
like
do?
to paint
Paint?
and be a comic.
Okay, that's good, because you making people
Talk
laugh
about
and you
talk about
laughing.
my experiences.
Yeah.
You know what I've been through, like
Right.
you know,
And
the
that's
money I
important
spent to
too.
tap my mind doing them.
Yes.
Stand-up
And one thing they said, which I don't like, dark chocolate. That's supposed to increase
You know what, that's
endorphins.
the best thing to eat. Because my doctor told me, I'd rather you eat chocolate than to eat candy.
Yeah.
Chocolate has to
Yeah.
that's something for your brain.
Yes, but it's the dark one.
Yeah, oh, it's not the
The
regular.
dark one is kind of bitter,
The other one is
but that's the
like-
one that's the healthiest.
You have to cook, you have to heat it for it to get sweet.
Yeah.
You just take a bite of it, it's bitter as
The
heck.
regular one, it helps you a little
Dark
bit, but
chocolate.
also put something on you too.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
since there's
A
sugar
minute on the lips, a lifetime
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
lips.
And also your sense of smell, like different oils and stuff. You can burn and have
Oh,
those
yeah.
scents. That's helpful. So listening to music, put some candles on, take a bubble bath,
I love it.
relax,
Shakes.
you know, try to get some
I put the music
rest.
on.
I
and
pray,
start cooking.
because I believe in the Lord, you know, so whatever you believe in, that's what you do, and trust that you can find a way to get these behaviors. We were talking about self-care and self-soothing. So self-care is that long-term system that you put in place that's healthy. The self-soothing is that quick fix. I don't care if it's going to hurt me later, just to make me feel good right now. You want to get away from those types of behaviors. That type of thing. Let's see. You were talking about the neurotransmitters, right? So this is a picture of it. Like I said, some people need to see. So she was saying that these things are released in your brain, and they have the receptors, and have to have something to attach to in order for you to feel it. So one person said they overdose, and they use Narcan on them, right? So what Narcan does, it fills up these places that are the receptors are supposed to go in, right? But it
What's
doesn't.
supposed to go in there?
Neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin,
Oh,
they
okay,
go
okay,
into
got
these
it.
receptors, right?
Okay.
And so when they give you, say you're overdosing, they give you Narcan, it fills up these receptors so that the drug can't go into it.
Right.
Dopamine.
But it doesn't take the drug out of your system.
No.
I think it
So
does
you don't-
though, 'cause
it
I've
doesn't.
had
No.
sick with-
No.
No, it only lasts
What it
40
happens,
minutes.
it blocks it,
Right.
so you don't feel it. So then say for instance, you say, okay, I'm better now, you take more. Once that
Right.
Narcan wears off, all the drugs that were there go right back up in, plus what you
Right.
just put in, so you can
Yeah.
overdose
But
it
from
again.
personal experience, I've been arguing that I've gotten sick after.
Yes,
Very
and-
sick.
Yes,
I got
They said it only
that
lasts
bad
40 minutes.
cold.
yeah. Yep,
My body
40
is
minutes.
real
So
cold.
after 40 minutes, if you use it again, you can overdose right again, immediately.
I had a friend that was smoking. Her
Yes,
daughter, there was fentanyl in the smoke. Her daughter went and got her
uh-huh,
and brought her home.
Yes.
After someone calling her saying she passed out.
wow.
She went back to this place again
Yes.
and used and died.
Yeah,
Wow.
because once you
Yeah,
think
because
you're better,
she thought that she was better.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just blocked it, but it was
Wow,
still there.
It was still there.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, the first time she got, God was with her.
Mm-hmm.
The second time.
Right.
mhm,
Right.
mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is something that will tell you when your serotonin is low. Problems with your memory.
Oh, I have that.
Oh,
Can't remember.
yeah.
Feeling
Joint
sad
clothes.
and depressed. Craving junk food.
Me. That's me. Me,
Trouble sleeping.
I got a drawer full of junk food.
You got
Just check
What?
on
right
all
beside
of
my
them,
bed,
You
right?
ain't gaining weight.
No, well, I relapsed.
Okay,
and
okay.
This is the result
I
of my
hear you.
relapse.
Okay.
Lost 100 pounds in 6 months.
Whoa. Wow.
You still here,
Okay,
though.
that's right, still here.
So I'm back.
Yes, thank God,
You know
right?
what I'm saying?
And
Well,
you're
I got
gonna,
back.
you're gonna stay back. You
That's
back
right.
for
I
good.
got here.
Yes,
I want to stay here to see what God got for me.
that's right.
My blessing.
That's right. To
Right,
find your
you know?
purpose. Low self-esteem. Who has
Self
that?
this time. I did it for my kids. I did it for everybody but me.
You used to.
Yeah.
That's the part right there.
Kept me
You
out
gotta
there.
feel that you're worth it.
Kept me out there.
Yeah. But you say, I
No,
love
not
myself
true. I
so
love
much. I'm
myself
not
today.
perfect.
That's
But
why
I'm
me and
still-
my ex-wife broke up.
Say it again.
That's why me and my ex-wife broke up.
Yeah.
I used to stay in the gym so much, and I used to have a saying, "Who love me better than I love myself?"
Right.
And I guess she took it the wrong way.
Okay.
Like I didn't care about her.
You was just
But-
so you was self-absorbed.
Yeah, it
maybe
was
you
just
felt.
you know when you work out,
Mm-hmm.
it's that muscle, the gym muscle.
Yeah. Everything
But
has to be
instead of
balanced.
her talking
though.
to me, you didn't talk to me. You just
Mhm.
Maybe
assumed.
you wasn't listening.
Yeah. Yep. So this is an hour workshop. I want to show y'all something
Right.
that's key.
Maybe you wasn't
Take this clay out here for me, please.
Uh-oh. Don't get me started.
listening.
I
That
get
silly Everybody.
doing Play-Doh and kindergarten.
That's good. Yeah.
That's
So-
Very stressful.
Nah, it could be though, if you wanna mess, because we talk about creativity, you could make some stuff with clay or just, you know.
That's true.
molding it. Thank you
Comic
so
books
much.
with
I
that.
love the ice cream
Yeah.
But it
sticks.
broke eventually.
So this is from a sorry game, but
This is a big sorry
I know, I
game.
got the giant one where you could walk on the,
Really?
Really?
yeah, it's cool.
It's cool.
That's crazy.
So- This represents anyone in the room.
Uh-huh.
Where you go into the program, whether it's the 12 steps or however you learn, whatever system works for you, and you got it together. So no matter what environment you go to, this is you.
Right.
You can maintain what you learn. So that eventually when you do, say, some people can't avoid people, places, and things because they may live with that person,
Join the club.
you know? And so you gotta maintain in that environment. You can't get away from it. I know some people that
Working
have
right now.
gotten clean from being a prostitute and they have to live in the same projects where they used to prostitute.
Wow.
And they're staying, you know, how they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they learned those
Yeah.
behaviors to keep them.
Right.
But a lot of times you go, and this is the other scenario that we don't want to happen, where you get it together and you go into that place, and I'm just gonna hold it up there for a while, and I'm gonna put it there, and you're gonna see what starts to happen.
The light was gonna drain.
It's gonna
It's moving.
It's moving, right?
Spread.
Oh, it's showing me.
You know what this
It spreads.
represents?
Spread.
This means whatever environment you go in, you start transforming into that environment.
Into that environment.
So
Wow.
if you finally got yourself clean and you go into a drug area, you're gonna get right back on it because you
Right
really
where you left
haven't,
off at.
you really haven't transformed.
Right where you left off.
That's right. So then now wherever you go, you're gonna look like that.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Good visual, right? To understand. So hopefully everybody's gonna leave as clay.
Right.
Right? And no matter where you go, you're gonna
Wow.
represent and say, okay, I know I can't go there no more. I can't do that because what it's gonna produce.
My mom used to say, tell me who you with and I'll tell you who you are.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
That's right.
My mother's saying was birds of a feather flock
Flock
together.
That's
So
right.
she would say, whoever you with outside is a reflection on me.
Mine
You know?
was saying nothing,
Yeah, you gotta
nothing
cut
good
them
after
teeth.
midnight.
All right, that's right.
That's right.
What was that Houdini song? The freaks come out at night? That's it, right?
If you wanna fly,
Yeah, that's when I worked at,
if you
went to
wanna
work
fly,
at
eagles
12.
don't fly with clothes.
There
All
you
right,
go.
or the chickens and stuff, right? Yes,
That's a good
yes.
one.
That's
a good
right.
one.
Yeah, you wanna soar like an eagle, don't fly with the crows, something like that.
If you want to soar like an eagle, don't fly with the crows or the chickens. Yes,
Right,
yes.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard
Well,
that.
crows are meant to represent death, that's why.
That black, yes.
They're
Yeah.
But they're so intelligent though.
Yeah.
with different
They
types
are
of crows.
so intelligent, those crows. The
Yeah.
ravens and crows, they are
Mhm.
very smart.
Vultures, those
They can
hawks.
talk.
I didn't know.
You said they
hawks
can
were
talk.
people.
They can
Crows.
talk.
My husband caught me walking up to
The
this,
crows?
I just wanted to take a
I
picture of
learned
the
one
bird.
thing.
It's
Don't
very big.
underestimate
And it was a
nobody.
hawk, and I didn't
And
know that they like
nothing.
would attack you.
Oh,
So it's
that's
like
right.
under it.
When you estimate
Yes,
one
birds.
bird,
Look at that.
I'm letting you.
That's just
they
what
think
people.
about
like-
nothing.
Do you see what it looks like now?
It was like a claw.
That means the longer that you stay in that environment, the worse you're gonna be.
Wow.
You're gonna be unrecognizable.
Oh man, it's
The
like
longer you stay there.
Dang.
Oh, look
Right?
at
It
it.
looked like
Yeah.
hair when
Wow.
Yeah. So you say, oh, and then they look at you and say,
Right
wait
on
a minute,
down.
what happened? I thought you got it together.
Yeah, right?
You
You know?
relapse,
Yeah.
something terrible.
Another thing.
Uh-huh.
That's what
When I
I'm
first-
thinking about
When I
tomorrow.
first moved, when I first got married,
Uh-huh.
I moved down to Virginia.
Yes.
I moved back up here, and the first thing everybody said is, when you came home from jail. I said, why you
Yeah.
put me in jail?
Mhm.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I said, I wasn't in jail.
That's
Your
it.
homeboy said, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I said, no. I
Yeah.
went got married, had my kids. I
That's
said,
right.
I wasn't in jail.
That's the first thing they say though. That's
Yeah,
the
right.
very first
I
thing they
was
say.
missing, so it had to be something like that. So-
Man, there's other places besides jail.
Yeah, that's right.
Yo,
That's where they want to put a lot of us.
if
Yeah.
you're
I
smart,
remember when
That's
my,
them vultures.
when my,
Yep.
my husband was in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
So we were living in Amsterdam, Holland. $1. And over there, the drugs are legal.
Uh-huh. Sure.
So now he's back in the United States, and it's time for me to go to the United States. So I'm so high, but
That's
I'm
the last
shooting
place you
things
need to be, huh?
one at a time. Back to New York, like I'm coming.
Yeah,
I'm coming. I'm coming. I would know when I got off the plane and he looked at me, I was about 125 pounds. And he was like, and I was like, here I am. He was like, God, why do I love you? Why do I love you? And he never did a drug in his life. But he always stuck by me through thick and thin. He joined the Navy because I got him fired with my high ass.
Oh my
Coming
goodness.
up there wanting more money. You know, and then we get home and he's like, I'm fired. And I'm like, well, you got 3 weeks to get a job or get the fuck out.
Oh my goodness.
I was just, I didn't care. All I wanted was my drugs. I didn't care. I didn't care. It was about me.
So our
me.
hour
So
is about
selfish.
up. But when you do, don't jump yet.
So selfish, y'all.
Everybody's going to have a self-care assessment to take with them. This is like a little
Okay.
check off so you can see all my contact information is in here and a piece of candy.
Oh.
Because what I do is mental health counseling, so maybe y'all want to reach out to
me
me.
and candy.
If you feel my style is good and you like talking with me, you know that y'all can contact me, which would be great.
I
This is my life. This is what I love to do.
Sometimes I think somebody told me.
Diane Anderson.
Miss Anderson.
Yep, meet me at the crossroads right there. That's my Gmail. That's my telephone number.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
But
Yes.
that's in your bag, though, right? The
Yes, all
cards,
that's in the bag that you'll be able to have. So,
It's so cute.
thank you. So I started this organization in 2016. I incorporated it myself. Google is in everything.
Wow.
I didn't pay no lawyers, nothing. I did everything.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, yes.
Website.
I got my website. I got everything. Yes. So when you go in the card, right there's the website right here.
Do you like speak to people or what, in person?
Absolutely, one-on-one, yes, definitely, and I, yes, that's what this is. And I got, see, meet me at the crossroads, I got my little clothing line going, yeah. So this is, I found my purpose, you know, which is good. Because I went through a lot when I was younger, I lost both my parents, and they were the ones that I depended on. So I almost, you know, went the other way during that time, because I was like, what am I here for?
Recovery also?
Not in a sense that I was ever addicted on the street, but I watched my father as an alcoholic die from that, and it's in me that I have an ability to drink a lot, so I was able to, through God, know that that was my kryptonite, so don't do it. You know? So everybody has to identify what their kryptonite is, you know? What do you have to stay away from? Yeah. Because I'm like, okay, I can put it down because it's in my DNA.
Yeah,
What
that's
is-
true though.
What is it when you're your own worst enemy, though?
Yes.
I mean, what about that? 'Cause I am like my own worst enemy. I can do things by myself and enjoy it.
Right, right. That's when you gotta do, like I said, contact, do the counseling, we talk, you know?
gotta talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you can learn
Pain is there.
those,
I
that's
have
her.
to get away
So
from
yes,
myself. You know,
before you
sometimes.
leave,
Mama, yeah.
you're welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, sweetheart.
I'm glad.
Everything, do it myself. I don't
Yes.
need nobody's help.
There's a grant that they give now for $100,000, $30,000.
This is garbage.
So it's nice meeting all of y'all. You
Did I?
Some people are not camera shy. Okay, whoever's not. You're welcome. Okay, so those that are gonna take a picture, just stay behind for like another 5 seconds. You got it?
I can give you the website, and I'll put it through and text it. Okay, all right.
Over here.
So my wife will give you some
Oh, and the cameraman is my husband of 19 years. That's all right. That's all right.
Yes.
I'm in the process of
That's not something that
That's right. They take that X-ray.
No, that's what God put us for, to help one another.
They don't do it unless it's something. Yeah, they don't, because I had that problem.
Where you at, my girl?
So you bothered me, and I was like, just take it out. They said, no, the X-ray shows it's good. I'm like,
Yeah. And it's a good thing about you realize that. So that means you realize that and you understand why. Then you have to seek him out more. More and more.
stopped it?
No.
Stop it.